committee recommends that this for attending council meetings, and no justification was provided for the payment of allowances to the support staff, and that the acknowledgement letter was not received from GPA on the procurement plan that was sent for in 2019 procurement. The serial numbers of the fuel coupons were not recorded, and the amount purchased issues made and the balance after issues were not recorded in the fuel register. The loan of the $600,000 to the Ministry of Youth and Sport remains outstanding. On that, the committee recommends that National Youth Council should ensure that an approved detailed budget is provided to them by the ministry. National Youth Council should ensure that evidence on payment of allowances to support staff is provided. The management should ensure that the acknowledgement letters are received from GPA on its procurement plan. And finally, National Sport Council should record the serial numbers, amount purchased, issues made, and then balance after issues of fuel coupons in the fuel register. National Youth Council. Recommendations, or findings rather, and observations. Accounts of National Youth Council are appropriately used as transit accounts for transfer of foods to several beneficiary organizations. The Ministry of Youth and Sports was said to have promised to provide National with food to fence its land to save National Youth Council from the high cost of rent and losing the land. On that, the committee recommends that the exorbitant rate paid by the government institution need to be controlled, and this requires the Rent Act to be revisited. A breakdown of rent from the various donors of National Youth Council needs to be provided with the specific activities they are intended for, and that the Ministry of Youth and Sports should acquire its own complex that can house all the satellite institutions of the ministry. On the Gambia Bureau of Statistics, the findings, it has been observed that some payment vouchers amounting to $464,227 were not presented for audit inspection, and some were not numbered. The procurement of goods and services amounted to $450,000. 50,850 were done without the three required invoices from the different suppliers, and that the Bureau did not provide agreement entered into between them and the hospital for treatment of their payment staff for the years 2017, 2018, and 2019, and that our payment salaries amounting to $15,260 to staff, and the payroll system did not include the history of some staff. And it has been observed that assets recognized in the financial system for the years ended 2017 to 2019 were not confirmed. And it was also noted that the Bureau did not recognize or disclose some of its assets in the financial statement, even though they are driving benefits from their use. The committee has a long list of these findings. I believe, permit me, Honorable Speaker, on this point to go straight to the recommendations. The management should immediately provide the payment vouchers for audit inspection and ensure that every payment voucher raised is filed and numbered accordingly. All procurement should be done in accordance with GPA Act, rules and regulations. Failure to do so will result in concerned officer being reprimanded. All contract documents should be immediately submitted by management for audit inspection. All the newly appointed staff should be paid the actual number of days worked for and not the whole month. The payroll software should be investigated to ensure that the historical data of all staff is stored. The management should also ensure that the fixed asset register shows the location, description, or type and condition of the assets to verify the asset, and that the management should ensure that all assets are recognized, disclosed, or disposed of in the financial statement of their fair presentation. Management should ensure that the non-recognition of land and building are disclosed in the notes to the financial statements, and that the Bureau should state this as valuable in the financial statement instead of the evaluation, and then provide supporting documents relating to the support provided by the Ministry of Land. And that the management should make sure that the loan recoveries are banked to the revolving loan account monthly, and the Bureau should provide the authority for issuing the said loan and the interest rate applied. The Bureau should apply the interest rate as per the service rule. The management should ensure that future monthly reconciliations are performed in order to detect and correct errors or omissions on time. The management should ensure that individual ledgers are maintained for each creditor. Management should ensure that there are accounting policies for expenditure and defer income in the financial statement. Management should ensure that adequate disclosures are provided for the account balances. The management should ensure that the accounts unit is adequately staffed to minimize the risk of errors or omissions and fraud. Management should liaise with the service providers to remedy the situation or look for other systems. Management should ensure that formally documented and approved use management standards and procedures are in place for monitoring, controlling, and supervising the system. Each user should be given a unique username and password which must never be shared. And finally, management should ensure that periodic reconciliation is performed between the financial and payroll system to avoid misuse of funds or errors. On the Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection, again, Honorable Speaker, we have a long list of findings which also are related to the recommendations that are made, and there, can you permit me to take you through the recommendations provided? On that, the forms should be filed and then submitted to the pensions authorized to ensure there is full compliance with the documentation as required. Management should look into developing the land allocated to be in compliance with the offer letter from the Ministry of Land and avoid never-ending rental expenses. Management should ensure that the birth certificates are obtained for all staff to ensure all departments using the medical scheme are biologically children of the employees, that all medical cards of the staff leaving should be handed over to the Commission, and that the management should ensure that the year-end cash accounts are conducted and certificates issued and signed by a witness, which is an act as supporting documents to confirm that the reported cash in the financial statement existed at the reported date, and that all assets in use by the Commission that meets the criteria of the capital grant should be disclosed, and that the management should ensure that such assets in use by the Commission that meet the criteria of the capital grant scheme should be disclosed in line with the recommended accounting standard on capital grant, and that the management should ensure that the monies involved in the fraud cash concerning fuel coupons should be fully recovered immediately. Honorable Speaker, on Gambia Public Procurement Authority, on that, permit me to take you through the recommendations. After considering the reports presented, and the committee recommends as follows: the board should ensure that it has a comprehensive TOR specifying how it should conduct its business and should meet quarterly as required by the Act. That all documents required for the registration process should be submitted and properly filed before the certificate is issued to the supplier. Job descriptions should be developed for all the staff and copies maintained in their personal files. Statutory deductions on taxes and pensions should be paid on or before 15th day of the following month. Outstanding balances must be settled immediately, and the management should engage the staff with the non-performing loans and ensure they are fully recovered by December 2023. That the Ministry of Finance should designate an institution to review GPA's procurement compliance and reporting accordingly. There is need to look at the regulatory framework for single sourcing to ensure value for money. Gambia Revenue Authority, Honorable Speaker and members of the August Assembly, permit me to take you through the recommendations. Management should ensure the asset module in accounting system is utilized, which should automate the asset management of the authority. Going forward, management should ensure that the investment appraisal process is documented and approved, that GRA to immediately submit to 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒄 documentary evidence on all their investment with effect from 1st January 2023 up to date. The management should ensure there is full compliance with the approved loan policies of the authority, and all outstanding loans without title deeds must be corrected immediately. A staff loan provisioning policy should be developed and approved by the board to ensure consistency in the treatment. Management should ensure that the staff with long outstanding leave areas proceed on leave as soon as possible. Management should periodically review the threshold set and take a position in the event of staff exceeding the threshold. All employees that are no longer in the service of the authority should be deactivated. Management should ensure that delivery notes are always obtained after the purchase of fuel in line with best practice. Management should further improve on inventory system limitation to ensure historical data from the system can be maintained for adequate reviews and monitoring. National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority, the findings on that. The GPA has not conducted compliance review of NAGA for 2020, so its compliance report was not presented. And the committee recommends that GPA should urgently do a compliance review of NAGA procurement. The Gambia National Library. Honorable Speaker, on that too also, permit me to take you through the recommendations. A comprehensive financial and administrative procedure manual should be developed to ensure policies, procedures, and responsibilities are clearly outlined, and the management should carry out detailed review of all the assets and of the relevant depreciation policies for each class of assets. And the payroll summary and the general ledger should be reconciled monthly and reviewed by an independent person, and management should also investigate the difference and reconcile accordingly. Management should ensure that reviewed, corrected, and proper entries are being done for each account balance, and that the management should investigate differences and post adjustment if necessary. On Gambia Technical Training Institute, we have a long list of the findings and observations and henceforth recommendations. Then allow me to take you through the recommendations. The internal audits should report directly to the board subcommittee. The overall planning of the internal audit work should be reviewed. The institute should operate in line with its approved annual budget and desist from all forms of pre-financing arrangement. The reconciliation should be done on a timely basis, and the resulting reconciling items should be investigated and resolved in a timely manner. Internal audits should carry out reviews of the general ledger, postings, and account balances to ensure that postings are accurate and complete. Management should ensure that statutory deductions are paid to the respective institutions within the required timeline. Management should review its current chart of account structure with a view to aligning the account structure with the reporting needs of the institution in order to facilitate the strategic financing decision-making, payment vouchers, and bank transfers in respect of purchase of account control. all entities so that the issues can be considered collectively. Efforts will give more time during some sessions for government institutions like the authority to prevent that from being used. Currently, there are national office must ensure that the audited accounts of the government for 2020 and 2021 are submitted for review by the end of October 2023. Ministry of Finance needs to agree on roadmap and the way forward migrating from the cash basis to a cost accounting system. The Ministry of Finance and Justice must review government's engagement with downwards by October 2023 to safeguard public interest. The National Public Office must thoroughly write up in the books of NRA the value of 19.7 million bill account payments to copied by NRA, the National Public Office, must take the lead in presenting their annual accounts report. Real finance statement to help us on time. The company for recommended that accounts of 2020 to 2022 will be submitted by December 2023. On that note, Speaker, I want to speak to the committee once more to thank the committee, and with that, we have the committee comprising we could not do this work without the support of the subject matter specialists and our editor, Mr. Ghambafere, the former Accountant General, Mr. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒆𝒍, Director General, 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒍, Mr. Abdullah, subject matter specialist, Mr. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒄𝒏𝒆𝒍, subject matter specialist, and Dr. Alun, subject matter specialist. The staff, the Clerk of the National Assembly, Mohammed A.C., Mr. Daniel Carlos, Clerk, Legislative Business, Mr. 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒍, Director of Committees, Mr. Lami Iman, the Principal Committee Clerk, Mrs. Nafisa Sundari, Principal Project Officer, Mr. Monica, Research Officer, Sarah Boya, Committee Clerk, and Isaac Sonko, Committee Clerk. And all the businesses who every day represented their various institutions and agencies. I thank you all for your participation and cooperation with the FRT and the August Assembly. I thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, Chairperson of the Committee, for your marathon effective treatment in I now would like any honorable member who may want to step up to the honorable member.
official go and break an office to let an official to enter. What are you saying that? We are saying that official, go to that office, do any corrupt practices, do whatever you want to do. The local government will have their best performance if the executive interference is strong. I'm not giving you Honorable Speaker, we did not show the state-owned enterprises. I think the government should understand the state-owned enterprises are outstanding national assets. Proposing privatization on them, managing their affairs, appointment based on political affiliations is not going to move these state-owned enterprises. So I think also on that angle, the executive should be very, very mindful. Honorable Speaker, I pray there is no border pandemic in this country or in the world. But I have never seen an instance, or I have never seen any historic moment in this country where government officials play with government funds more than the time of COVID. This was the time many people used as an opportunity to do whatever they want to do with public financing, all because of COVID. So I pray to Almighty Allah, there is no other pandemic in this country. With regards to the issue of contracts, award, and procurement process, Honorable Speaker, I have been in this sector for the past 12 years. Contract management, contract award, and procurement process. This is also another
proper financial authority. What do you expect the local council? What do you expect? And where we have people with big orders, ACCA, chartered account, you don't do a proper. What do you expect the local council to do? You won't follow it. You do the right thing when I was speaking. Because each opponent starts to come. If you don't do that, leave it. Somebody don't pay. Now you have to get all the recourse. In fact, our government is very short. And we are listening to people that are in who use that are the farmers. Here, when you no farmer is at the same. They only address the issue of 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒏 without our rent. As you never see, you build a house, then somebody money will say to you. And what that is so that if they negotiate this rent issue, the corner, you go there, you make your negotiation, and you spend big amount of money. When you yourself as a government, you can build offices. You can see what is happening at 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏. Where the government can build offices for government. But the top of our money is not right. And when you can see you being alcoholic, a financial director, or a health controller, or a 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 person in that office. Once you have 2 years, you start vehicles, building a house. We can't take this country seriously. So give up this country, it should be less than 5 years. The back of price is $2. A gallon of oil, $1,500. Where are those things? It is users. There's no sick bodies in power because we didn't know us. Yes, because I'm representing this. Honorable Speaker, I think the way things are going is not. We have to change our attitude. The government will have cost of cost coming. When you are doing possible, it makes you execute this as we expect. Even the 100%. But all this because it's not new. Well, we need a government. You don't release a proper financial policy. We expect this council will do. But there are minimum resources. Even the act of local government is declared by other experts. It is the same. The central government has laws. But acting themselves, they are going to get much. What do you expect again? Because we are not supposed to what we are doing. And again, that be a judgment and they have been doing it. For all this, what is happening? You do it, you know that you are doing yourself. Try to beat yourself. When you are killing how many people outside. Because it's not true. They say, if this is as usual, what do you want to look at now? They said, we are going down, it's not going to follow us. Just that, you put it there and it is. We have to take actions. If we cannot do it, other others cannot do it for us. Because you can see that now, after you give us information, what next? What next now? What happened to next now? Those people who are catch in this new side. I don't see this with them. This Muslim must be taken up now and developed forward. I am ashamed of myself because today, go down there, Now you can leave.
Point out. Yes, Honorable Speaker, every member shall restrict his or her application to his I think we need to focus on the report, not to make general statement. We can have time for the amendment debate. Please.
Can you make specific reference on the document?
Honorable member is making general statements about the position of contest. But what I'm saying is we have a report. He should make reference to the report when he's making his point. So we are, we need to focus on the report. So if we should all make general statements, we will not actually say anything.
Honorable, it becomes very difficult for a report like this to exclude any aspect of the operation. The report almost incorporated everything in the operation. I just want to say that the honorable member for Lower Sun should not include everybody when he's referring to himself. We the technocrats. For us, we are not technocrats. So we may be a technocrat. But please, it will be difficult to say that we've gone out of the limits of the debate. Because in minority leaders' presentation is open air, almost everything. Can you continue?
I know this man is just to be a yeah. I know 100%. And I will sanitize the sewage in my side. I know that I know. But what I'm saying is, the failure of this one is them. I'm not speaking. You understand? Today, what make us today not to cry on the Russia war. When our farmers are here, you can go to the circles, to the rations, they are good work that is happening. And when these millions of dollars are there, when ones are right down there, it's good we speak the truth. The member for this is 108 institution, ministry, department, agencies, that are taxpayers' monies they are working on. So if you do the right thing, you have to say it. I can't compare myself only on this because it's possible. You understand? But part of the matter is when we speak out, let's be serious to not be agreed. And I know most members will speak. Our president is already what is happening in Africa. It's a sin on us.
Thank you very much, honorable member of the Lower Sun. And I invite honorable member of the 𝒂𝒂𝒏.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First, I want to thank the 𝒂𝒂𝒏 for coming up with this excellent report. I would like to thank each and every member of 𝒂𝒂𝒏, particularly the subject matter specialists. have here, they are very important. And secondly, I would like to 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒄 and the entire National Assembly to work on the recovery of certain physical body guidelines. And there are a lot of discrepancies that we need to recover. And some of the food items that were distributed, and there are some that were with certain governors. The only unfortunate part of this, like this was 2019, and from 2019 to today, there are a lot of changes within the system. And it's unfortunate for us to be considering this report today in September 2023. From 2019 to 2023, a lot of changes occurred. Most of people may pass out. But actually, to fully follow up this and make sure that everything is right, and it's going to be difficult, but we have to try as a parliament to put the country on the fast. Honorable Speaker, also we want to look at this in the reporting of the National Audit Office. Sometimes there are a lot of backlogs that are coming very late. So I think we have to work together as a country to make sure that the National Audit is at par with the corresponding year, so that if the audit is going in that year, the first quarter of the preceding year, we can do the presentation and possible consideration. So that we will be able to follow up and make sure that all the recommendations are fully implemented. But again, also with the GBP report, currently the National Audit Office is not at power in terms of value. If they come with institutions appear before for presentation and consideration, the GBPs sometimes will be absent because they are not at the same level in terms of this. So we have to look at it, how are we going to empower to make sure that the manpower of this institution should be reinforced so that they can be able to lift up their expectation. And secondly, if there are capacity gaps, how can we work for them to outsource to other farms that are available, like in the case of the public enterprises. Honorable Speaker, going forward, there are some areas that I definitely want us to look at, especially in Chapter 2. Chapter 2 of the audit report, account of the government, which is very scary the way it is at the moment. If you look at it, I want to mention specifically the typical process that are unaccounted for.
Sorry, can you put the page?
Page 43. 43 of 97, unaccounted government revenue. The Auditor General, third-party confirmation to the Delta Post Authority revealed that 2,393 containers of goods and timbers were shipped from 1st January 2019 to 30th April 2019. So in a corresponding figure, this is estimated at $8,614,800 US dollars. So if you look at this figure, it's very huge, and this is not accounted. So these are very serious issues as a country.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member of the Ghana South. Now I invite Honorable Member of Kiang West. Sorry, Honorable Member, if your microphone is not working, why don't you shift? Because since the last breakdown, it looks like not all microphones are working.
Honorable Speaker, colleague, honorable members, Cabinet Ministers, departments, press, National Assembly Service, good afternoon. Honorable Speaker, let me also join colleagues to thank 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 for doing such a great job. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 have done what they're supposed to do. I wonder why police are challenging 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏. Again, 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 have done their job so diligently. Now to come with recommendations, it's left to us as parliament to come with resolutions as to what we do as far as their recommendations are concerned. So we must commend him for doing such a great job. But commending him will not make sense without commending national defense. We will, Auditor General of National Defense, by the dictates of the Constitution, the President has the power to appoint, and of course, he did the appointment of the National Auditor General of the National Defense Office. If he could go as far as finding foul place at the office of the President without being silent about it, I am very, very grateful, and I want to say thank you very much. Keep it up. Honorable Speaker, I want to start with the two institutions that are very important to give us an analysis that if those institutions are flouting rules of the DPPA, then no institution will respect them. Starting with the office of the President and the Ministry revealed that the contractor was required by DPPA to receive the bill of quantities and submit for approval before work can commence. If all the institutions are doing what they want to do, and they are not going through the law, they are not respecting the law, what is the purpose of the institution? And I pity the institution today, but because before they need to see the approval of the DPPA, before they do any process, but now we have promulgated a new DPPA law in this National Assembly where they can do their procurement and DPPA serves as an oversight institution on them. What will they do now? That is the question. All the institutions are flouting rules. Even the office of the President. If the office of the President can do this, what is it telling the other institutions? And this is why people are arguing that the President cannot punish people who are found wanting for corruption in this country because his office is found wanting for corruption. This is evident. This is really evident. Honorable Speaker, going to Ministry of Justice, there were several allegations and clarifications were made by the Minister in this very House. But it is appearing numerous times, time and time again. It's page 33 of 97. It reads, failure to provide information on dynamic commission process. It reads, as part of the audit of the 2019 government of the Gambia Consolidated Financial Statement by auditors, it was noted that Treasury receipts amounting to $22,319,957.92 were reported as proceeds from the sales of assets by the Jari Commission. And evidences of these things were not provided. These are serious disclaimers, these are serious for these findings, these are advanced findings. Information are not provided for auditors' review to substantiate the information that is given to them. These are disclaimers that are not acceptable. Sometimes when we talk about them, they seem very simple, but these are very serious matters that we need to look at. And these issues appeared on newspapers, and Minister Surya and 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 is appearing again, and we need to put a strong resolution to say that in a specific given time, Minister and the people responsible must provide the auditors with the information, with the necessary information for them to substantiate their information, the review, or else we take a step against them. We must take that resolution. Which institution will do it better? Honorable Speaker, amount of differences that are recorded from various departments is too huge. From the Minister of Higher Education, concerning the disbursement of funds to students at the embassies, there was a difference of $1,380,186.80. From the Ministry of Tourism, on the DT board, $7 million was recorded. And on the DRA, scanning fees offer stated was a difference of $36 million. So where are these differences going? Are they not really doing the reconciliation what they're supposed to do? Or they're not doing timely reconciliation? And these differences are not being confirmed by auditors before presenting this report. Where are these differences we need to question that? Honorable Speaker, another one that I want to talk about here is financial instruments, which is also a very advanced audit file. It says, failure to disclose financial instruments. The government of the Gambia had subscribed for shares, equity participation.
Honorable member, you must always remember to where you are.
Page 36. Page 36 on the financial instrument.
Go ahead.
It reads, the government of the Gambia had subscribed for shares, equity participation in African Development Bank, Islamic Development Bank, and ECOWAS Bank of Investment and Development as far back in 2016. Review of the previous financial statement by the auditors revealed that several payments have been made in 2016 to 2017 and 2018 respectively towards these subscriptions. However, the financial statement did not disclose the government's equity participation in this bank. Government is not ready to tell you, because government cannot tell us they don't have an expert to definitely tell the National Audit Office the Gambian government's financial equity participation in these respective banks that they are subscribed to. You don't have an expert to do that. This is a serious disclaimer, and that it is deliberate. Honorable Speaker, under the same it says, the auditors requested for annual process reports and sales certificates from the Accountant General's Department to establish the number of shares subscribed in African Development Bank, Islamic Development Bank, and ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, including the amount paid and outstanding balance, but this was not provided. What is the government telling us? Why are we blaming the Accountant General, the chief custodian of all the accounts, for the collection of revenues? And it's doing this as it's unable to present these developed banks, which are international, and they are able to provide the auditors with this information. What are we telling other institutions? What are we telling countries? Honorable Speaker, moving forward, it says, let me quote another one from, because there are very, very serious issues that we really need to look at, but we might not be able to finish that. This is a report that should take us, in fact, 5, 6, 7, 8 days for us to look at the national fund. Imagine COVID-19 response fund. The first budget that was appropriated from this parliament for COVID-19 response fund was $500 million. $500 million. And that was not the end of it. And we all clearly witnessed that the minister stood here in this very parliament and said, there is corruption in my ministry. Everyone was rushed to the front line to have more hours. There were those names included for payments of hours. COVID-19 response. Imagine if $500 million was spent on that country. If it was spent on education, what are we going to do? Honorable Speaker, coming to the Gambia College, the institution that I have undergone, and I have seen the principal of the Gambia College. I don't know if he has kept up. Honorable Speaker, on the Gambia College, auditors reported that they have requested management's response as far as their audit reports are concerned. It took Gambia College and institution 10 months to just find a management response. This is what we have found. What is your concern? Make clarification. It took you 10 months. They have not taken that audit of the serious. And we have to put a sanction on them as far as this is a strong resolution. If it happens again, we sanction them. This is the institution that we are following upon, and we are complaining. This is an institution that is recruiting people and forcing them to various schools, public schools in this country, to train future leaders, future presidents, parliamentarians, and ministers. If they have been requested to just write management response, it took them 10 months to do this. 10 months to respond to the report of the national. Just management response. This was serious negligence. In fact, it is gross negligence. In fact, I will call it gross negligence. Honorable Speaker, I will go to the councils and then I will conclude. Looking at the councils, Honorable Speaker, I want to come up with a resolution that immediately, forthwith, that all the finance directors and accounting officers of various councils must be terminated immediately. Must be terminated immediately. All the councils in the country. Look at the recommendation of 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏. It says board conclusion of 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏. When you get to see, it says none of the area councils have a proper financial reporting framework. There is an urgent need for a national reporting framework for all the public institutions. This is the poor reporting format of area council is what prevents them from making adequate disclosure. You cannot disclose all your expenditures. You can't. You don't even reconcile your information. You don't do that. So all the councils, all the finance officers, and the accounting officers that are representing the president because the president appoints, they must immediately be forthwith, called back, they'll be terminated, and answer to 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏. And if they are found wanting of any corruption, and we let them liable of something. I think we're having anti-corruption bill, which is still in this parliament. Honorable Speaker, these are issues that I have tried to look at as far as the report is concerned. And lastly, for public enterprises, some time ago in Parliament here, we passed the bill on state-owned enterprises, the state-owned enterprise bill that have looked at certain state-owned enterprises and called them commercial state-owned enterprises. Those are the ones that will be covered by the bill. And I want to question if Ministry of Finance is here, whether we have a public-private partners, bill, whether we have a law that guides that. If we don't have a law that guides that, there is a need, and there is high time we do it. Because I know it is happening. If you're practicing it and you don't have a law that guides it, that would be illegal. So it's important for us to revisit our law. If we are practicing the public-private partnership, we make sure that the PPP bill is presented before the Parliament, and we look at it critically to ensure that we look at the argument in that. This is quite important. And somebody also talk about public enterprise. Public enterprise cannot be independent. And he talked about executive interference. The Constitution stated that the President shall be the person to appoint the Director General and the board members of the public and any governing body that is mandated to take charge of the affairs of the public enterprise will be appointed by the President. You dance to the tune of thunder. What would you do? The President appoints them. That is needful constitutional amendments to ensure that these appointments come from Parliament with due serious scrutiny, so that these appointments will not be done based on political sentiments. Sometimes they will say political interference. I say executive interference. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I have a long list of members who want to participate in the debate. Honorable members, I think before we close up for lunch and prayers, I think this is the last port of call for Gambians. That's why we are sent here some oversight institutes. Rather than be lamenting what needs to be done, if nothing comes out from here, it means the ball will be in our own court, somebody's court. So I think we should look at the recommendations and then try to see how do we get what we want, how do we get things corrected. Always bearing in mind, honorable members, that for people to value addition, for you to be able to improve on something, you must do something. And where you have errors, those are essential. If you want to innovate and during that process something goes wrong, you try again, you learn from it. But people who deliberately go to do things contrary to the wishes of the people and the regulations, I think that's okay. We should come out with something that always lament. Everybody will talk and lament. That's the last part. That's where it stays. So let's think about that. Honorable members, I think we will now break off for prayers and worship. It's almost 40:41. Can we come back in 40 minutes? Let's say half past 2. It's 19 minutes to 3. I think 3:30 will be okay. Okay?